everybody, Zach again, NewTutorial.com, coming in and making a video for you today. The other day I posted a video about Noah and his sons and DNA, and I went through the whole thing about the two houses of Israel, and I got a whole lot of comments about people saying that, well, you know, Zach, those Jews who call themselves Jews, they're not really Jews. Yeah, those are the synagogue of Satan. And I get this every so often, and it seems I have to do videos on this every so often. Folks, here's the deal. I have a playlist on my YouTube channel called Skin and Hebrews, I think, or something, Skin Color or something like that. Go find that playlist and watch that playlist. I'm going to go over today some of the things that I cover in that playlist, but not all. So all of your questions can be answered in that playlist. I think it's called Skin Color or something like that. Playlist in my YouTube channel for New Tutorial. Also, it's on my website, newtutorial.com. Anyway, this whole idea that the Jews who call themselves Jews today, whether it's Ashkenazi or Sephardic, are not Jews, this originates back post-World War II from a guy named Arthur Koestler. He wrote the book, The 13th Tribe. And it was put forth after this horrible occurrence called the Holocaust. This guy put forth the idea that maybe, perhaps, these Jews just really aren't Jews. Maybe they originated from the Caucasus, from the Khazarian Empire. And perhaps, maybe, it's a possibility that these Jews aren't really Jews. And he says in the book, the reason why he came up with this theory is because if it's true, that would give the whole world a reason to just leave us alone. Just leave us alone. We're not really Jews. We just say we're Jews. We're actually from the Caucasus. We're from the Khazarian Empire. So just leave us alone. And then the whole world would say, oh, well, sure. Absolutely. You're not Jews. We'll leave you alone from now on. The absurdity of it all. First off, it was a theory put forth by a Jew in hopes that it would get the whole world to leave them alone. He says like 15 times in the book that it's just a theory. Or whatever, how many times. I mean, I don't know how many times you can find the online word search and just see how many times it's probable, he says, or maybe, or possible, or it's a theory. He didn't know anything. And then I'll have people leave comments below and say, well, Zach, we know from a DNA study that those people who call themselves Ashkenazi Jews have no connection to the Middle East. If you hadn't noticed yet, science can be politicized. I am very much aware of the study you speak of. There are many other studies that show that you're wrong, that study is absolutely inaccurate, and there are DNA connections to people who call themselves the Ashkenazi Jews to the Middle East. If you've been living under a rock for the last 2 years, then you don't know that science can be politicized. Can we all agree that science has been politicized? So there are people out there with an agenda, a political agenda, and they will happily tell you that there's a DNA study out there that shows without a shadow of a doubt that those Ashkenazi Jews are not connected to the Middle East. The problem is there's lots of other studies that show otherwise. So anyway, all that to say, I'm not going to be convinced by your DNA study. I'm not going to be convinced by your Arthur Koestler theory that the Ashkenazi, come from the Khazarian mountains. There's lots and lots and lots of other studies. Linguists have come forth and said, listen, there's no traces of language of those places anywhere. When people move through areas and they come through different areas, they always pick up parts of a language and it always sticks with them. There's no, it's been disproven. It's a theory. It's a dumb theory. Let it die. Let the theory die. Now, all that to say, one of the other things that I see many times, like in the last video I did about Noah and his sons and DNA, is that people will talk about Judah in terms, Judah we have today, the Jews today, in terms of Revelation 2:9 and Revelation 3:9. Now, let's read the verses. Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. I know your works and tribulation and poverty, but you are rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. Now, let's read verse 3:9. Revelation 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you. And people will come into my comment section and joyfully post those verses and say, see, those who say they're Jews and are not. That proves that those people out there who call themselves Jews are lying about it. They're not Jews. No. What these are referring to is something that we see often every day. People who say they're something and they're not. Like, for instance, I know lots of Jews. I know a lot of Jews people who call themselves Jewish. But a lot of them don't keep the feast. They don't eat kosher. They'll eat a ham sandwich in a second. They'll eat a pepperoni pizza, no problem. If someone says they're a Jew, but then sits down and eats a pepperoni pizza, an actual pepperoni pizza like made from pork, are they a Jew? If someone says they're a Jew, but they don't keep the Passover, they don't keep Yom Kippur, they don't keep the feast that it's commanded for all of God's people to keep, well, are they really a Jew? No, it's the same way with Christians. They'll be like, we all know Christians in our lives who say, well, I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. And maybe even they go to church on Sunday. Maybe every Sunday. But when they get out of church, they live completely like the world. We all know people like this. So are they really a Christian? If they say they're a Christian, but they live like the rest of the world, they sin like the rest of the world, are they really a Christian? No, they're not. I saw this just this week. Amazing article. Let's go take a look at this real quick. Starting off at Blaze Media from theblaze.com, queer Muslim Atlanta City Council member is in a non-monogamous relationship with two other people. And she says it's a very valid familial structure that people should embrace. Okay, Amir is a woman. It's a woman who forget what the rest of the article says. It doesn't matter. But just the headline alone, queer Muslim Atlanta City Council member is in a non-monogamous relationship with two other people. Here is a Muslim, someone who proclaims to be Muslim, but also queer, and also in a non-monogamous relationship with two other people, and thinks it's perfectly normal. Now, you have to ask yourself, is this a Muslim? Is this a true Muslim? Would people in the majority of the Muslim community consider this a Muslim?
That doesn't make sense.
No. She has redefined for herself what she believes and what she believes is acceptable. But she can call herself a pink painted, unicorn. It doesn't matter, but she's not. You can call yourself whatever you want. But that doesn't make you what you call yourself. To the understanding of what other people accept, what that understanding is. It doesn't make sense. And so what Revelation 2:9 and 3:9 is talking about are people who call themselves Jews, but they don't follow Torah. Some of the Jews today they've enacted more laws in order to protect themselves from breaking the laws that the Father has given us. I get that. That's not perfect. I don't believe in that. Those are traditions. And some people even hold those higher than the commandments of men. That's why Yeshua, to hold those commandments of men higher than the commandments of God. And that's why our Messiah rails on those people in Mark chapter 7. It says you hold to the traditions of men over the commandments of God. I get that. But see, there are real Jews out there today who call themselves Jews, Ashkenazi or Sephardic, doesn't matter. And they are the true brother Judah. They're trying their best to observe the words of Moses. I'm fine with that. Those people are real Jews. Those are the tribe of Judah. I get it. And many of them, and I made the comment below in that last video, I get so many reports from Israel, from Jews who are discovering that Yeshua, he wasn't a bad Jew at all. They're realizing that Christianity has lied about this guy named Jesus. Because when they look at the New Testament, they're like, this guy was a pretty good Jew. He upholds to a lot of the tenets of the Torah. And so they have recognized that, the Messiah, the Messiah ben Joseph has come. And now we're waiting for the Messiah ben David to come. And there's going to be a whole lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth when that happens. But they're realizing this. They're coming to the knowledge and acceptance of Yeshua as the Messiah. It's amazing what I'm getting, the words I'm getting, the people who are emailing me and telling me these stories coming out of Israel. the professions of faith, and understanding that Yeshua came to reignite the kingdom. So here's the deal. Stop picking on my brother Judah. It's really kind of ticking me off. Stop saying that Revelation 2:9 and 3:9 has anything to do with the Jews that are calling themselves Ashkenazi. It's a dumb theory. Let it die. If you're calling yourself something like a Christian, but you don't live like a Christian, are you really a Christian? No. If you're calling yourself a Muslim, but you don't live like a Muslim. I mean, Glenn Beck the other day, speaking of the Blaze, he's like, well, if this is the end of the world, let me know. I'll see you at the bar, because he's watching the whole stuff with Russia. Wait. You're a Mormon. If you're a Mormon, you don't believe in drinking alcohol at all. It's a sin, according to what you believe. But you're going to go to the bar, and he even made the joke, my wife's probably already there. Listen, if I knew it was the end of the world, I wouldn't be going out and like, well, I guess I'll order me a pepperoni pizza. I only got 5 minutes to live. Do you see the insanity? True belief, my friends, is followed by actions. Because they say if you, John 3:16, for those who believed on him, everlasting life. But if you don't believe, your actions won't show you belief. If you truly do believe, your actions will show it. Do you really believe? For God so loved the world. Why the world? Because that's where we were all scattered to. We were scattered into the world. That's why I made that point in that video, Noah and the DNA and his sons. We were scattered into all the world. For God so loved the world, where we were scattered into, that he sent his only begotten Son, that whosoever should believe in him would not perish but have everlasting life. If you keep reading down, you get to verse 19, 20, and 21, you realize it's the deeds. What did you do? Because what you do, what you did, shows your true belief. I'll leave it at that. Go home, read your Bible. Thanks.